So I've decided to place a little bet on this game. If the Miami Hurricanes lose to Clemson, I will wear a Clemson cheerleader uniform just like this one and record myself doing some cheers for the Tigers. And then I will upload it here on YouTube for all to see.
Coach Coop, Coach Coop, Coach Coop, the Coach Coop Show. Coach Coop, Coach Coop, Coach Coop, the Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show. The Coach Coop Show.
What's going on, Canes fans? And let's not forget about the Clemson fans that are here as well. They're going to make this week extra fun because they're going to bring that trash talk like they always do. Guys, the time has come. The number 7 Miami Hurricanes are taking on the number 1 Clemson Tigers this Saturday, October 10th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC Prime Time. And yes, College Game Day once again. But first off, before we dive into the preview, you know it wouldn't be a Coach Coop video without a couple of brief announcements. First off, I finally have a diagnosis for why I've been feeling so bad over this last month. And many of you have already seen the video, so I'm not going to make a huge deal out of it, but I just want to let you guys know, in case you haven't seen it, that I'm going to most likely continue to feel bad and be battling fatigue and many other things for at least the next few weeks, maybe even potentially the next few months. So my content for the time being, my preview videos, my live streams will be a little less hype than they normally are. And I just want to make that known because Coach Coop is known as the hype guy, right? I'm always doing all these crazy stunts and skits and stuff, and that's going to have to kind of take a back seat for the time being. Now, don't be alarmed. The live streams will still be happening just like they always do. The night before streams, the live hangouts during the games, the preview videos, still going to happen. I'm just going to have to tone it down a little bit. I'll continue to try to take my content to the next level, but I have to focus on getting better so that way I can continue to do that better, crazier content in the future. So no matter which team you're a fan of, I'm just asking for your help to let everyone know that I'm battling a lot of sickness and fatigue right now. So if they come into the stream asking why I'm not all hyped up and acting crazy, let's say if we beat Clemson, right? You know, of course that would be Coop cheering, going crazy. Just let them know, and I would really appreciate that. So with all of that out of the way, let's get into the preview. Is this the best Miami team that we've seen in recent years? Many believe so, but this game will absolutely be a measuring stick for the Canes. Even though Clemson is a strong favorite, they've outscored Miami by a combined 96-3 in the last 2 matchups, and they've won 24 straight ACC games. The Miami Hurricanes are not scared or intimidated. Miami is actually a double-digit underdog in this matchup, but me personally, that's how I like it. That's when we seem to play our best, and maybe we'll actually play with a chip on our shoulder in this game. It's so great to have a high-powered matchup like this early in the season because Clemson and Miami have 2 of the top offenses in the ACC and might possibly be the top 2 teams in the ACC. So let's talk some brief history between these 2 teams. Miami and Clemson have faced off 11 times in total, with, believe it or not, Miami leading that series 6-5. The most recent matchup was back in 2017 for the ACC championship, where Clemson won 38-3. And I was actually at that game. Bank of America Stadium, 30 degrees. Clemson fans lining up to throw the U upside down in my face. Ugh, bad memories. But let's head over and take a look at average stats for both of these teams so far this season. Thankfully, both of them have 3 games under their belt, so these numbers are a little more meaningful. And also keep in mind that I don't do any of the 0.2 or 0.8 stuff. I round up or down respectively. I'm going to put a nice little graphic image up on your screen so it gives you something to look at for a few minutes to give you a break from taking a look at me, right? So let's take a look at the graph here. The Miami Hurricanes average points per game so far this season coming in at 43. Clemson right behind them at 42. Points allowed against them per game, Miami 19, Clemson with a very impressive 12. Average yards gained per game so far this season, Miami 499, Clemson 477, and yards allowed against them per game, Miami 377 and Clemson 303. So on paper, at least for those specific stats, these two teams actually look quite similar. But now it's time to discuss 3 keys to a victory for both of these teams, and we're going to kick it off with Clemson. Just keep in mind that there are many more keys to a victory, of course, for both of these teams. We could go on, but these are 3 for each team that I feel like are pretty darn important. Number 1, the Tigers will have to contain quarterback D'Eriq King. He's racked up 157 rushing yards so far this season, and after Virginia's quarterback Brennan Armstrong racked up 89 rushing yards against Clemson last week, Miami's going to be looking to capture the same success. And Clemson's linebacker and safety play contributed a lot to this, as they regularly found themselves out of place or getting blocked by wide receivers. And you best believe that, in my personal opinion, Virginia fans obviously are probably not going to agree, but D'Eriq King is a much more elusive quarterback and talented quarterback, more athletic quarterback than Brennan Armstrong. Number 2, the Tigers will also need to limit the big chunk yardage plays by Miami. This is something the Canes are very successful with, and as weird as it might sound, more so with the running game than anything, as King still needs to work on his timing a little bit with the deep ball, and the wide receivers still aren't producing as well as they should. We remember these games, I can't remember specifically, was it the Louisville game maybe? Maybe the Louisville game, in which Miami had back-to-back 70-plus yard runs on the first play, Cameron Harris and then to Jalen Knighton. So the Tigers are definitely going to have to limit those big-time plays. And lastly, Clemson's offense needs to find a way to put their offense in more manageable third down situations. Against Virginia, the Tigers averaged 8.9 yards to go on third downs. Now, luckily for Clemson, you guys have a beast of a running back with ETN, who's great at picking up yards after contact, which is huge on these third and long situations, but Miami's defense is going to be much tougher than Virginia. Clemson's offense will need to show more consistency in this game. And now, 3 keys to a Miami Hurricanes victory in this game. Number 1, and I know that many of you are going to say, Coop, this is lazy to use the same point that you used number 1 for Clemson, but just flipping it. But I think that it's worth mentioning and noting that this is so big and so important that the Canes need to also contain Trevor Lawrence. It's not even that he racks up hundreds upon hundreds of yards. It's just always the timing with it. It seems like that Trevor Lawrence, with his feet, he always finds a way to pick up a critical first down. So yes, he does pose a huge threat with his feet. So the Canes need to get consistent pressure on him all night, but they also need to make sure that when he escapes and tries to run, that we take him down quickly. I think it's time for old Sunshine to meet Amari Carter. What do you think, Canes fans? Number 2, if Miami wants to win this game, they must keep Clemson under 40 points. And this is a very tall order. Since Trevor Lawrence has been the starting quarterback at Clemson, only 4 ACC teams have been able to do this. And yes, Miami does have a high-powered offense, so many believe that they can go back and forth in a shootout with Clemson. But me personally, I feel like that once the score starts creeping up into the 40s, I think that the advantage shifts over to Clemson. And lastly, I feel like our biggest targets in this game should be Brevin Jordan, Will Mallory, and our running backs in the passing game. I believe this is actually a mismatch for Clemson in this game, and Miami should take full advantage of it. Their linebackers and safeties, as I already mentioned, have been struggling. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, my score prediction for this game. Can the Miami Hurricanes take down the big bad Clemson Tigers? But before we get into it, you know I like to mention the completely pointless ESPN matchup predictor. They have Miami's win percentage chance coming into this game at a whopping 14.1% chance, and Clemson at 85.9%. Obviously, this is in Death Valley, so some home field advantage for Clemson, even with the limited fans. So what is my score prediction for this matchup? Man, I went back and forth on this. I thought long and hard about it because, you know what? Let me just give it to you guys. All right, Miami, 34. Clemson, 45. Yes, my score prediction for this matchup is Miami losing 45-34. Now, hear me out for a second. Let's talk. So bring it in. Bring the camera in right here. Look me in my eyes. Okay? Look me in my eyes. Can Miami win this game? Yes. Miami absolutely can find a way to win this game. And am I counting Miami out of this matchup? No. Hear me out for a second. I want to mention a couple of things before you leave this video. Don't Miami fans, don't tell me you closed out of this video yet. Come on now. Hear me out for just a second. What my score prediction is and what I want to happen are two totally different things. I want you to remember two scores. I want you to remember the 45-34. But I also want you to remember potentially a Miami Hurricanes victory in this game, 38-35, with a game-winning field goal from Jose Borregales. But I want you guys to hear me out for a second. I made a promise to you before the season kicked off that I would try to keep my score predictions this year as realistic as possible. I set my Canes pride aside, and I evaluate this game from the outside. Do I think that Miami can win this game? As I said, yes. Do I think that they will win it? My realistic score prediction is no. I think that Miami will hang with Clemson. I think they will go toe-to-toe, and they will look good. They will come out ready to play. Are we quite at that level just yet? No. I don't think so. But do I think that we could potentially set up for a rematch in the ACC Championship? I realize that's a very bold and early prediction. Yes, I do think so. So before anybody takes it out of context or jumps on social media saying, Coop doesn't believe in the Canes, I can't believe it. Coop isn't a Canes fan. Me predicting a Miami Hurricanes loss in this game does not make me not a Miami Hurricanes fan. I made a promise to you guys to once again be as realistic on this channel as possible. I don't just want to always predict Miami wins, and especially by landslides. Take a look at my FSU score prediction. Take a look at my Louisville score prediction. I was within a touchdown for both teams in both of those score predictions. In the past, I was a little bit more of a Miami Hurricanes homer. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. It was very apparent. I was always predicting landslide victories for Miami. We were going to take care of business and beat their booty, right? Just remember, like I said, both of the score predictions in this game, guys. Miami Hurricanes fans, Clemson fans, leave your score predictions down in the comment section below. Make it known. Let your voice be heard. Root for your squad, no matter which team it is. But just so you guys know, I will be rooting for Miami just the same. Sometimes it feels good to be wrong, right? I'd love to be wrong on this score prediction. Miami Hurricanes, prove me wrong. Show me that you are ready a little bit earlier than I think you guys are. Maybe you could squeak out that victory, that 38-35, with Mr. Automatic getting the game winner. I'd love to see it. And also, don't forget, if Miami does in fact lose this game to Clemson, I will rock a Clemson cheerleader uniform. Just a heads up, they only sell them in female youth sizes. So it would be an interesting video. I hope that I don't have to do it. By me predicting a Miami loss, does that mean I want to do it? Are you crazy? Heck no. I don't want to be floating around on Clemson forums. A Miami Hurricanes fan loses bet, has to wear a cheerleader outfit, and that be what I'm known for on the internet? No, thank you, guys. Hey, remember, though, we're all one big happy college football family. But at the end of the day, I got to say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out.